Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Key Gripe, the show for short, sweet reviews of new release movies, plus the one thing that annoyed me the most. And today I'm going to be talking about the film Moonlight, and there will be some spoilers. No one gets to define who you are. But for young Chiron, finding his identity as a man is a challenge he faces as he grows up in a life of poverty, drugs, and isolation. The film stars Trevante Rhodes, Andre Holland, Janelle Monáe, Ashton Sanders, Alex Hibbert, Naomi Harris, and Mahershala Ali, and the film is directed by Barry Jenkins. I was blown away by this film in every possible way. The writing, the direction, the acting, the music, everything. It is one of the most complete movies I have seen in a long time. In a lot of ways, it defies the Hollywood convention, giving us a visual character story. So much of Chiron's character is shown and not explained in heavy detail. There's things like facial expressions, glances, body language. All of it reveals who he is throughout this story. And it's a complex picture of a black man coming to terms with his masculinity and his sexual orientation. The story takes place over 3 time periods in his life, when he's a youth, when he's a teenager, and when he's an adult. And from the first moment you see him, you know he is struggling with something deep inside. The film opens with him being chased into a derelict motel by a group of bullies. And Chiron is quiet and hesitant to trust people because at this point he really doesn't have anyone in his life who he can trust. He has his mom and she loves him, but she's also an addict. And that actually hurts him emotionally, seeing her act the way she does when she's on drugs. So enter Juan, who's played brilliantly by Mahershala Ali, who inadvertently takes Chiron under his wing. Now, Juan is clearly the most important figure in Chiron's life because not only does he give him a safe space as a youth to actually be himself and to feel wanted, because he wants Chiron to be his own man, whatever that may be, regardless of whether he's gay or straight. It doesn't matter. Just Juan wants him to be his own man. And clearly he knows that Chiron is different, but he doesn't want to subjugate that part of him. He wants him to be able to embrace it. And Chiron actually takes to him and his girlfriend, who's played by Monáe, because he generally cares about him. But ultimately, Juan becomes his model for masculinity, though he ends up losing a part of himself that way, but he uses Juan because Juan was this important figure, however brief he was, in his life. And throughout his life, he has really only one friend named Kevin, who turns out to have homosexual tendencies himself. Kevin is pretty much the opposite of Chiron, in that he's much more confident in his sexuality, as well as his secrecy of it. But the emotional connection between the two is strong, especially for Chiron. He relies on Kevin for emotional support, which makes the ultimate betrayal so painful. And the scene of that betrayal is so difficult to watch. I was in tears. It is heartbreaking. Fortunately, their lives come full circle and bring them back together. This film is magnificently well done by director and writer Barry Jenkins. The shots focus on human details, natural human details like facial tics or averted eyes or just the body language. It's so evident throughout this film. He also uses water throughout the film as this important symbolic image, like when Chiron is learning to swim, or the moment on the beach, or the fact that Chiron only drinks water. There are so many things put in here to make this such a visually powerful narrative. But it helps that he got such fantastic performances all around. The young actors did well. Alex Hibbert and Ashton Sanders both did very well as Chiron as a youth and a teenager. Naomi Harris is phenomenal as Chiron's drug addict mother, both when she's actually on drugs as well as the aftermath when she sees what her addiction did to her son. And then Trevante Rhodes and Andre Holland both just shine as the adult selves and bringing everything full circle. The end of this movie is so calm and yet just remarkably powerful. And of course, Mahershala Ali is just commanding. He is becoming such a powerful actor. I loved him in Luke Cage, and I absolutely loved him in this one, and I want to see more of this guy. So then, Key Gripe. This is a near perfect movie, so finding something to gripe about is almost impossible, but I'll try. I wish it were longer, or at least that each segment of the film gave us a little bit more. Like I said, it's divided into 3 time periods, and each one gives it a little bit of the story. It doesn't give you the full story. But it speaks to the depth of the film that you want more of it, no matter how harsh that reality is. But some of the details that we do get are given just as kind of cursory exposition, like Juan's death. We might have learned a little bit more if these sections were longer, but again, this is a complete film, not just a story. Overall, this is not only the best film I've seen this year, it's the best film I've seen in a long time. The acting is powerful, given even more weight from the gripping direction. It's not conventionally Hollywood, even to the very end, and that speaks to its strength as a visual narrative, giving us a view into the life of a real black man, a real person so often forgotten in film. I'm giving this, wait for it, 10 out of 10. This is an amazing film all around. I really could not find anything that brought this film down. As a complete narrative, it is fantastic. That's a Key Gripe first. Let me know your thoughts on Moonlight if you've seen it. If you haven't, go out and do so because it is an amazing film and you will not regret it. And that does it for this episode of Key Gripe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Nice work. Good job. If you like what you saw, you can just go ahead and click that subscribe button for all videos past and future. You can also head over to my website and see all the other stuff that I do, including the books I've written. So go ahead, click stuff.